really forget about the oceans biologically is you don't know where anything is. In Africa, you can go to a waterhole, and if you sit there long enough, you know, the lion will come and drink. If you go out into the big blue ocean to try and film marlin or whales, where do you go? I mean, some people will say, you know, off Costa Rica is a good place to film marlin, but the ocean currents, which change on a monthly, daily basis, will move, the animals will move, and you are trying to chase an animal that can go 70 miles an hour in a boat that might go 10 miles an hour. I mean, it's a lost leader, basically. We spend an awful lot of time, looking for the needle in the haystack, and lots of trips that came back with absolutely nothing. Because if you go out to the big blue to film whales, and there's no whales, there's nothing else to film there. It's a desert, effectively. And, you know, that was where the money went, actually. The money went on failure, which is a strange thing to say, but we had the amount of failures that would normally ruin a wildlife series, but we just went on and went on and went on and went on, and finally got some of the stuff which I know is unique and nobody's ever seen before.
Tell us about some of the stuff that we're going to be seeing for the first time.
The wonderful thing about Blue Planet is it is crammed full of new species. I mean, the Deep Show, the Deep Ocean program, I mean, at least 60% of the animals in that film have never been filmed before. 30% are completely new to science. I mean, that's extraordinary. You know, to be going out there filming and the scientists desperate to see your footage because they say, my God, this is a new species. We've never seen it before. And there's a lot of that in this series, a great deal.
It strikes me also that the series is almost like a series of mystery stories as they unfold, and one big mystery is the blue whale.
Yeah, I mean, that's extraordinary. I mean, we chose to start the whole series with the blue whale because obviously it's the largest animal in the sea. It's also by far the largest animal that's ever lived on our planet. It's you know, I mean, the biggest dinosaurs, just recently they've discovered dinosaurs that are around 100 tons. Well, they know that there are some blue whales that are more than 200 tons. And yet, we still have absolutely no idea where the largest animal on our planet goes to breed. I mean, you'd think it would be difficult to lose a blue whale. But it's extraordinary, and for us it was a major filming challenge. I mean, the sequence is 3 minutes long, and we probably spent a total of 6 months in the field trying to film 6 shots.
Music's very important in a series like this. How did you go about deciding on that? Did you spend lots of time thinking about the type of music, the kind of composer, that sort of thing?
The Oceans is an epic place, and I wanted epic, big music. And I was very fortunate, both in Trials of Life and in Life in the Freezer, to work with a marvellous composer called George Fenton. George works largely now with Hollywood. He basically works with movies. He's worked a lot with Richard Attenborough, did Cry Freedom, and Memphis Belle, and Gandhi. And he doesn't work very much for television anymore, but he does like working on natural history films, and occasionally, if you persuade him. And I just said to him, I want to be emotionally moved by the oceans. And the wonderful thing about George is that he gets very emotionally involved, and I think some of the music is marvellous. And the other very important part about the sound was the sound effects. We spent a massive amount of time creating the sounds of the oceans, because if you think about it, you don't know what sounds happens in the deep ocean. Nobody has ever been down in the deep ocean with a microphone. And this gave the dubbing mixers and the dubbing editors a wonderful open palette to create amazing new soundscape. And I think that they've done a wonderful job, and I think that's a very effective part of the whole experience of watching Blue Planet.
Being involved in something like that, and being involved in this entire series, it seems to me must make you feel very humble.
It's an amazing privilege. I mean, you have to be very careful, because the whole process, the problems, the worries, the failure rate, the machinery of getting all these crews into the field day after day after day can be quite demanding, and particularly as a series producer, you'd probably spend more time in the office than you'd want. But at the same time, things like seeing that Arabada, being there on that night, going down in a submersible. I went to an amazing island off Russia called Talan in the Sea of Okhotsk, where we were filming the world's largest eagle, dive bombing kittiwakes. You know, we were there for 6 weeks, and those magic moments, you know, are just irreplaceable. You do your best to film them, but I have to say, I'm sorry, there's nothing like being there.
Was there something above all else that you did in this series that just made you swell with pride and satisfaction and achievement?
I think probably what I'm most proud of is the completeness of the series. I think all the individual films are very strong. I think some of them are remarkable. But it's the fact that I do think it is a very new look at a new frontier. I don't think anybody has done such a complete series on the world's oceans, and I think it'll be a very long time before anybody gets an opportunity to do one on this scale again.
Finally, what would you like to be the feeling that the viewer carries away with them when they watch this series?
I want to take them to a world that they have never seen before and they'll never be able to go to. It's escapist enjoyment, revelation television, and you know, it is the last frontier, and I think we have gone some way to show it to people.